management team lead, like me, what I'm going to do and how we're going to continue the festival. Certainly, that involved a lot about the sustainability. I really would like to hear what you have in mind.
I know, Dr. Liu, you have been talking about it for a long time. I want to know from the audience here whether anybody has any suggestions, step up, or be part of it, or do you really think it cannot be sustained if something happens to me or Dr. Liu or any of the management? Okay, so it's really important for us to think about the future of this organization. I will tell you, I'm very passionate about the Asian Festival. When we talk, maybe it might sound like we are fighting. We are not really. We are so passionate, we argue about it. Okay. However, we both come to the same exact place. We want this to be a successful event for the next 25 years. And I'm not going to make it for 25 years, okay? And even if I make 25 years, I don't want to be the person who will be doing it. So I want you guys to kind of give us an idea. What do you think we should do? Any idea is a good idea.
And I'm so sorry, and Dr. Liu, other person, because I am not in the committee, and I can't say anything.
No, you are in the committee. You are all in the committee when you are in this room.
I know.
You're all in the committee.
We are, but we don't know the budget. What budget is? Just like a lot of people suggested, more than one weekend should be Asian Festival, celebrate more than 1 week. Not only weekend, we more than different times we have to celebrate as Asian Festival. We can't suggest anything until we know the budget, how much capacity we have. And when we know, yes, we can do it, then we can say, okay, this way we can do it. We can do this way. And this responsibility, I can take it. And if we don't have a budget, how can we manage 4 times in a year?
Okay, so I think for the sake of time, maybe it sounds like maybe we can use email to you guys afterwards as an open question. If you have any suggestions to Anju and Dr. Liu,
We really need your suggestions.
No, I can answer your question.
That's what I can.
I can answer that question. We have no budget. Because this is an open-ended question, and we need someone, if this person or a group of persons have a proposal, then in the proposal, we need a big item as the budget. And therefore, we never touched upon this word yet. Okay? Although, I think most of you might know that we, for the past 24 years, we did save quite a bit for our rainy fund. So, whether the rainy fund can allow us to do some luxurious thing, I don't know. It's up to all of us how we're going to use that money. Okay? And so, to answer your question, we don't have a budget. Whoever will propose whatever, budget should be a part of that proposal.
Okay, I'll tell you right now, Asian Festival budget changes year to year, okay? It has been for the last several years, $250,000 to $270,000 a year. Every year, by God's grace, we have collected more money, not because of all of us are going out and doing it. It's really Dr. Liu and there's grant funds and there's a lot of contact. We do have, that's the average, I think, 250 to 270,000 is needed to do the Asian festival based on everything we are doing. If that's what you're asking, we have a budget. Now to stay within the budget, it's every committee member's responsibility.
The responsibility part, I understand that, but only the thing because you guys have 25 years experience. And I just want to know if someone's thinking to celebrate Asian Festival more than once a year, can we afford it? That is the thing.
Great question. I'm going to be the kind of like the party pooper. So I think these are great questions. I was going to ask Mountain to talk about how to maintain the harmony, for example. So I gave you a choice. We can stay in this room to continue some conversation, or we take these thoughts, think about what is next. Because go back to relevant, practical, and sustainable. And ideas that we're going to go back to discuss within our groups are going to be, what is the goal for the next phase of Asian Festival? I want each of you to come up with one, not two, not three, just one from each group. Think really hard. What should be the goal for the next 25 years of Asian Festival? Assume there is a blue sky. Then Carly will go back to you.
I'm sorry, I'm Josie. I have a comment as far as our future and sustainability, and I think one of the issues that needs to be addressed is the location. I mean, we're growing bigger. Over the years, I've noticed that, and we kind of gotten limited, I think. As the years go, we need maybe a bigger venue. So I'm thinking, that needs to be addressed too.
Thank you. Actually, as a matter of fact, I do have the survey result. Like I said, I can tell you what the survey says. We do have a pretty good response. We got 15 people participated. One of the question was, if you have $10,000, what do you want to do? What area to focus on? I can tell you, we have one say we need to do more on awareness. We have 3 on performance area, 1 on health, and we have 1 on security and parking. We have better visitor experience. We have award volunteer. We can spend money on location. We can pay a person to do fundraising. If, for example, the doctor who decides to retire next year, this is just from Leah. I'm totally an outsider. I did not say that, but.
But you are not addressing to Josie's question. The question is
that's why you address. You are.
No.
You have a question on
I'm
that.
just bringing up a point.
No, I think Josie, this is a very, very pointed question. Now, let me go back to the history a little bit for you, and then we can open up for everyone to comment on. Tony was the one that chaired this venue search committee, and basically he looked around almost everywhere in Franklin County, and without saying, he spent a lot of time, and we tried to find a location more suitable for us. The only possibility is the state fairground. Okay. However, if we do that, then we lost the free parking immediately. Now it's $6 per car. Okay. So, do we want to go that route? Or anyone here, could you please to be our ambassador? Try to find a location suitable for us. Certainly, I also received quite a bit of the comments. Why don't we charge people? that certain is a legitimate question. Do we want to go that route for the next 25 years? It is not up to any of us to decide. I think this group should have some say to decide our future.
Yeah, in the last 6 months or so, I have been actively soliciting comments from individuals and groups. One of the things they have made a suggestion is actually Syotamile. They feel Syotamile will host enough people. I know cost is going to be a matter. However, it will host enough people. We will have a place for dragon boat, and we have space for everything, including health. We can even use probably NISO former Columbia Gas building and spread out, use the amphitheater, do all that in one weekend rather than doing it over 3 weekends like we are doing right now, which is really a toll on all our resources when we have to ask 3 weekends for people to come and work. But again, that's one of the thoughts. Some people believe it strongly, some people believe it, they don't know how much it will cost, so they are not able to definitely say it. But they believe going to the downtown Columbus probably will be more beneficial. It will draw more crowd for our event.
Thank you very much. Also, did that help to answer the question, Josie? Yeah. This gave you some information. I think we should, if everybody is finished, you can take your research to your group. So you know where your group is, you know who your who are your group mates are. So let's go back to board, drawing board. Think about 25 years out of Asian Festival. Here is what I'm asking you to do. I was going to get you back to the presentation. Let's forget about that. One, think about one goal. Out of your group, there should be only one goal. What is Asian Festival? What's the goal of Asian Festival in the future? That's it. And then execution. With that goal, how are we going to do it? Could be the funding. We hire somebody, like they said, to do the fundraising. Could be location. Could be lumped all the events together. Could be four times a year if you think you can do it. Again, think about relevant, practical, and also sustainability. 25 years is a long time, it's also a short time. So anyway, so execution 3, clear, come out with 3 recommendations, actions. What Asian Festival should do to support the goal you choose. Last but not least, how do we reward ourselves? 1. So 1, 3, 1, is that clear? Fair? So take your coffee and dessert to your group, and I will give you half hour. Again, each one, actually let's take 25 minutes until 7:40, and then each group will come back with a 10 minutes presentation to get started. What you are going to do, how you are going to do it, how you are going to reward your own team. Fair? Okay.
Leah, there is some question about the group. You want the same group or you want...
I was going to break up the group, but that would take more time. Let's go back to the same group. We already know each other. It's more practical. Let's go back to get work done. Thank you.
Exposure like other jobs that they can get into, things that they can.
Okay, so you should go to your group, start to do your homework.
That's what I say.
The earlier you do it, the earlier you go home.
It's giving them opportunities outside of exposure to. When you talk about all this that goes on, I don't think anybody really gets it. By going to these functions, she comes up here to be networking, you might meet new people, get a job opportunity that you never. That's all right, that's what I meant, it's networking.
Hello, John.
That's what I do.
What happened to the kids?
We lost.
Oh, that's too bad.
You're on video, by the way.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you are now.
Why?
Okay, so
Because
I
you told me to video
have
people.
the
Yeah.
rule here. 3 tasks. Number 1, think about a goal, blue sky. In your group's mind, next 25 years of Asian Festival, what is the focus? What should be the focus? Come up with a goal. With that goal,
So I put a write something. Are you guys listening to
That's
this?
a discuss.
they are not. You guys can continue to discuss. Okay, so, and then we recommendations on how to execute that goal. Again, think blue sky. You know roughly right now you have 25,000 to execute each year. Think about that. Think of 3 recommendations. Change location, I don't know. And then last but not the least, after you know how to execute, how are you going to reward your people? How are you going to reward yourself? 1, 3, 1. Until 7:40, please.
But I think one of my things that I do is I grab the flyers and at my gas station, I'll tell them I need the flash here by a certain date. So that's kind of like community with the library. It was where do you allow recreation? Yes, recreation without knowing the actual. We shared like one year we shared what was it? The minutes. Yeah, that was impressive. I mean, to read about that. That's what we're talking about, the manual. That way they can see. Wasting money. Do you know what I do at my work?
Downsizing, not downsizing, clearing up all the properties around the yeah, because what is the homework? Because we can have one of these working.
Relevantly quick and painless. You see we have some chairs lined up. What we're going to do for the rest of the 20 minutes is that we're going to let each team take 10 minutes the most and to present what the goal your group chose. What are the 3 recommendations in terms of how to execute that goal? What is the one reward your group recommended for the volunteers? Not yourself. Yourself should be rewarded by the board by cash, according to some of you said. So that's easy. But think about your vast volunteers. What do they want as a reward? So with that said, one please. Who is the Dr. Lu or Tony?
Donnie, that is our
Donnie, okay.
spokesperson.
The podium.
My notes does not coincide lockstep with what's up there. Our concern is to keep the festival alive and at the same time attract new blood. And we agree that festival is a celebration of our traditions in our community and celebration of community itself. And so our goal is to continue the traditions, and we talk about sustainability. And we were just going back and forth, how can we reach that goal? How do we attract the younger people and bring them into the group? And also, what do do what really interests the young people. So in order for us to find out what is going on in their heads, what they think a festival is and what they want, is to perhaps have a focus group. And then that poses a problem also. How do you get these people to come and be a part of the focus group? Traditionally in a focus group, you're paid to be a member of a focus group. And so we are not sure that we can afford to pay people, because we're not talking about one focus group or two focus groups, because we want to reach as many people as possible. And we also looked at what we've done in the past that attract people and the success we have enjoyed over the past 24 years. And we have decided that we are a giving organization. We give back to the community and provide a lot of services, not only entertainment, but also the ability to come and meet other cultures, enjoy their food, their traditions, and talk to people and be educated as well. Then we decided, we talked about what goes on at these other festivals. Well, we decided there's food, music, and booze. Does Asian Festival want to get in touch, want to start selling booze? We don't think so. So we have been successful, and now we provide a very valuable service to the community. However, we'd like to get other groups, other Asian groups involved, and it's been difficult to get them involved. So we talk about, oh yes, and one of the main points that we're very proud of, that we are supported by a lot of corporations, and the sustainability, their support over the past 24 years has been steady. Sometimes it drops, depends on what's happening in their corporation, but they support us because they see that we bring added value to the community through all the services we provide. We're proud that we're very much into inclusion and diversity, and we celebrate heritage of everyone who participates. And we give, the biggest thing is that we give back to the community. The last one, we decided that those of us who are here tonight and who are not here, we're not doing this because we're looking for rewards. We do it because we enjoy it and we get pleasure out of giving, and we'll continue to do so. And our volunteers, they do the same. There are some volunteers, well, they're semi-volunteer, we call them liaison, that they do get paid. And it's work. They go beyond what they're doing. They have to go out in the community and recruit people and fill out a lot of forms. So they do work, and they do get paid for it. And then they come back during the festival and they register these people, and we ask them to accompany these people through different stations, and they're interpreters also. So we are proud of what the Asian Festival is doing, but we know that there's a concern that we need to bring new blood in. So we're hoping that everyone can come together and come up with some ideas also.
Some of the reward can be very creative, because I think for volunteers, seeing their face is very important. They are part of it, it's their experience. So how can we leverage some of the rewards that are not costly? So I'm just throwing this out. So group 2, please.
For group 2, we'll be talking about how
Actually, that is just wide enough. Perfect. Okay, so the big goal that we came up with, the most important thing we thought was that we're sustainable, that we're able to actually be around and be growing and still relevant in 5 years, 25 years, however long. And the first thing we came up with to do that was more involvement and promotion in schools. We need to get young people involved to keep it going. And if you start in the schools, we could do, like in elementary schools, they have social studies days. Maybe if they have a really fun activity about Asian culture, and then they find out about this really cool festival that celebrates it, then that would bring people in. Another idea with universities and older high school students offering internships. Maybe they could be a part of the organization committee, give them some leadership experience, some responsibility, and just give them a chance to see if it's something that they would like to be involved with. And it suggested that for the schools, it's hard to do it in a way that would be educational, relevant, but still fun. So it was suggested that we could hire professional educators because they would know how to do that and they would be able to make it interesting enough that they would actually want to do it. And that actually leads into the next one, very closely related. To raise the next generation of leadership by mentoring by people with expertise. It's really, Anna? What you mentioned earlier about how it can be hard to come into a group that's been around for a while. As a young person, you're new and you don't really know what you're doing. Having someone that could introduce you, answer your questions, and tell you what's going on and let you know that this is what you need to do to be able to do this, that would make it so much easier. And if things are easier, they're more likely to actually want to stick around for 5, 10 years, however long. And finally, we want to be able to provide a healthy and safe environment for volunteers and community. If the environment's good, people want to be there. If it's not, people won't. People won't want to stay around, people won't want to come. And for rewards, one of the things, at least in the kids area, we get a lot of high school students that they need volunteer hours to graduate. That's one reward for them that they already get. Another is just making volunteers feel appreciated. I mean, even if you're just telling them, you're doing a good job, we appreciate what you're doing, keep doing it, it can be really big sometimes. Just when they know that somebody actually noticed and cared to tell them a good job. Just making them feel good about the experience. And I think that's the biggest way to bring people back. So, that's what we came up with. Thank you very much.
So everybody knows Kathy? There is a school called Cornell University you probably all heard of. It has the best hotel school in the world. And it has a hotel. If you ever go to Ithaca, New York, I suggest you to try to stay in that hotel. The hotel is called Stagger Hotel. My point is that you will not believe the Stagger Hotel in the best hotel program in the world is run 100% by the students. 100%. I think by trusting young people, giving them power, is a big, big thing. So anyway, group 3.
Since Anna did such a great job earlier, she's going to talk while I hold up her contribution.
By the way, I want to comment, Cassie and her family, Kim, Cassie and her family has been part of the Asian Festival since Cassie was a little girl, okay? And they have continued to come in and help the Asian Festival. I just remember them so well. Now her grandkids come to the Asian Festival. So they really have done forever a great job. Yeah, you need it. You need what is that? Another school? No. The top floor.
So we said that our main goal is we want to increase awareness of the festival. Some people were talking about how, despite the fact that we've been around for so long and doing such a good job, there are many people in the community who don't even know that Asian Festival is a thing. So some of our different options that we thought of to execute this was first utilizing the social media that we have and utilizing it well. We have a Twitter, we have a Facebook and these pages, but we think that we could increase the way that we use them or maybe change the way we use them so that it's more and more effective and that we're going to be reaching people and having them like our stuff. Additionally, we thought focusing on local outreach. People talked about bringing their flyers out to different areas such as restaurants, gas station, libraries. We also talked about some of the things that Cassie talked about with reaching out to different schools and having that be a type of promotional effort. Maybe having a children's art show where we teach them about different kinds of art or have them have a way where they can have their art, showcased at the Asian Festival and things like that. There could be a judging, or it could just be, everyone gets to show their art, and that would be great. Some other diversity efforts we were thinking of was using old program flyers. At the end of the festival, we have all those different program books, some that are left around, some that are collected, and we could use that at different events where we talk about the Asian Festival. And we could say, this is our program from last year, our program from this year is going to be a little different, but now you can get an idea of, some of the performances we're going to have and some of the food. And that way people, get excited when they come in because they know what they're about to see, and that's really great. Can I add something? Yeah. I remember one of the program books had myth stories from the different cultures, and I think I kept that, and I keep our program books, but that would be a useful tool, as we have different stories that we share, from each culture. We have a theme, and, sharing that you could use that as a fundraising tool, sharing our culture and heritage and, reaching out to the community. So I thought that was kind of, rather than, what do we do with our program books after the events? Right, we could also still utilize them after that.
And additionally, the last thing was just making sure we're connecting more and supporting people in the Asian American community. There's so many organizations that support us, and they're also doing such great and amazing things. And so, even with our social media, like if we see maybe an organization doing something that's really cool, promoting their event and sharing it, or maybe volunteering at those events, those are things that, support Asian Americans as a group and also just build those community bonds. In terms of rewards, the main thing that came up was a lot of people thought that would be great to have some sort of recognition. Everyone puts in a lot of time, high schoolers put in time, people here put in a lot of time. And it's just always nice to hear something, like kind of get that pat on the back, like thank you to so-and-so for doing such a great job making that flyer, or thank you for so-and-so because they reached out to this new group and they signed up to perform at the Asian Festival for the first time. Those little things always make someone's day when someone recognizes their efforts and things like that. And additionally, the last thing was maybe having some sort of social event for people who volunteer. Everyone here is really cool, and people would like to get to know each other and get to have those times where they just relax and have fun. So maybe having those kinds of events so that for morale and for community and things like that.
Thank you, Anna and Josie. Let's give them a big hands. Good job. It's almost 8. You guys are teamwork.
Good job.
Good job, really. Last but not the least, 4.
Let's go, Kay.
All right, so we agree with everybody else, and we come up with the goal of sustainability too. So it's probably not surprising how to sustain the legend and the activities and how to continue the good work that we are already doing. So to come up with that, we focus on the leadership side. And so the 3 things that we focus on is mentorship program, mentoring, So we also talk about we need to have the leadership team to commit on something like that to make it happen. So we need to have some kind of mentoring process, mentoring program going on. Also networking. So this is something, for whoever wants to participate. Also, we talk about that's also part of reward for people who volunteer their times. And so it's, to get their, it's not just personal, we actually talk about personal growth and career advancement as people's reward. And a lot of people do get their names known, do get their, they do grow as a person. High school students get their requirements, service requirements down, even for me, I grow as a person. I also, as part of my career, I have to contribute, I have to show I have service in the communities and so things like that. But we need to have a more kind of formal networking program also to give the people to know each other, to give them, to motivate them to want to become part of this leadership team or just be a part of the Asian Festival. And that also is related to our third item, which is recruiting. How do we actually recruit? That's, networking and recruiting go hand in hand, so it's not just a separated program. In addition to this, and I think it's our group member Hannah actually brought this up, she was asking, is there a possibility that we even have an Asian Heritage Museum and have a kind of a place that's permanent? And so we have this and we can host events and so people actually go there to get, it's not just a weekend or 3 weekends that we celebrate in May, but this is an ongoing thing that we can have. So we did acknowledge that that's a very different endeavor than what Asian Festival is currently doing, but we're just throwing out on the table just to see if that's even a remote possibility in the future. I do think that that's probably probably another 25 years of work to make that happen, but I do think that maybe is something that should be considered. So I already mentioned the reward is personal growth and career advancement. All right, thank you.
That was our last presenter. At this point, I know it's almost 8. Is there anybody who has something that is burning? If you don't say it tonight, you are just going to go home to be sleepless. Anybody? Okay. What I suggest is you have listened. You have listened really well. And Dr. Lu, do you have something to say? Hold on. Okay. So I'm the facilitator, so I set the rule. So if Dr. Lu, you talk 2 minutes. There, I will time you. But now, hold on 1 second. So let's other people have a chance to talk. How about that? Okay? Okay. You're fine.
Whatever.
Okay. Okay.
Anna asked a question, but she did not have the chance to ask. And then we went back to this room. And so I want to address that question. I think that's a very valid question, and every one of you should know. The question is that, have we ever considered to go to Mile Sayota Park? Yes, we did. We had several meetings with the Park and the Recreation. The result is that every year the expenses will increase about $150,000. And with our fundraising situation, we may not have that ability unless if we change our structure. And that is what we are proposing. Change the structure, hire someone to do the fundraising, and they'll do differently. And then we can consider that venue. Because a lot of factors I don't want to review to you right now, I can talk to you privately. Okay? And talk about the social function, I want to encourage all of you, please join us December 9th and the China dynasty for the end of the year celebration, and that is also our Christmas party. Thank you.
Let's give you a big hand for you. Amazing. Great job. Good job.
Thank you so much for taking time to spend an evening day with us. Okay, so hope to hear from you. You will be receiving the survey report, electronic survey report. One thing I request, really, this is a sincere request. If you receive any emails from Asian Festival, please respond to it, okay? Without the response, it really makes it hard for us. You know, some people say, oh, it's just an Asian thing, we don't have to respond. Believe me, world is getting so different. If you don't respond, people won't consider. I'll tell you, even we're working with Anon, N2, and all these people, all they do is send this Twitter, social media, and all those things, and they get so many responses. So us not responding to it make us not look so great. So please respond to emails, and you will be receiving two things from me. One is the planning committee guidelines, okay, because we have collected from several of you. So what I'm doing is I'm using the ones we have on the system. If you haven't sent it, so you will get it as a draft, and then you guys go ahead and make the correction you want and send it back. Okay? I hope that will be good for all of you. Thank you so much. I really personally appreciate all your time in this day. Okay? Drive home safely and have fun. Hope you had a good time.
If you are in a hurry to leave, please go ahead. Otherwise, let's take a group picture to remember what we did today. And then, you know, this will be part of like at the end of year. It can go to a program as well. So this is your work today.